Jason knows I'm not feeling
Kyle
that.
and I have already had this argument.
Yeah.
You hate that I feel
What
that
else
way.
was on the WB back then? What else did I miss?
You probably saw the Wayans brothers, right?
Yeah.
The Jamie Foxx show. Come on now, Craig. Come on, Craig. You know the Jamie Foxx show?
No.
You know
This is Sunday Karma, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue. Here's GKB founder and CEO, Craig Karmazin.
Full House. Whatever happened to predictability? Is that how it starts?
The Milkman, the Paperboy.
Evening TV. Strophe, Kyle Wallace, Greg Scalzo looking at us like he has no idea what we're talking about.
No idea what you're talking
You
about.
weren't a Full House dude?
The theme to the show Full House.
Oh, I thought the milkman was the man that snuck in the house when Daddy was gone.
Is that what happened at your house?
Nope, I was just like my daddy. So no milkman for my mama.
How about Greg? We won't get into Greg.
I will say my grandfather was a flower delivery man. So.
Oh, nice.
My grandfather was a milkman.
Okay.
Actually, he delivered old school milk bottles. Like there really were milkmen.
Yeah,
And he
no, for
was a
real.
milkman.
Yeah.
That was his job.
Do you have any illegitimate cousins?
Nah, he wasn't like that. He didn't have that kind of
As
game.
far as you're aware.
I know the Matlofsky game. I think I got his side of the family's lack of game. All right, lots of things to get to today.
Anybody know who Matt Lofsky is?
0%.
I'm guessing that's his.
No, that's the maiden
last
name. That was my
name,
mom's
yes.
maiden name was
I
Matlofsky.
thought Matt Lofsky.
Not like Matthew
That's
Lofsky.
also what happened in my head. So
Oh, is that Polish?
No, I don't think so. It seems like it would be, but maybe it was. I don't know.
You don't know your family heritage and
I did the
where you come
whole.
from?
I did one of those like
you did 23andMe?
not 23andMe. No, like Ancestry.com.
Okay, they're not being They're not going bankrupt and selling information.
Like with
Oh,
Harper.
they're definitely selling information. But
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's
Yeah,
true.
like we went through and like figured out and mapped out like the history and all that. I don't think there was Poland in there, but maybe. I don't know. No natural segue.
No natural
Good
segue.
luck.
From the milkman to the to Cooper Flag and no. So Greg brought my point to light. He walks in and he's like, I have the whole Final Four right, I have the finals right, and if I win today and UConn beats South Carolina, I don't even come in the top 3 in the bracket.
Correct.
And I was saying to Strophe before you walked in, I'm not sure if brackets just suck now that all the favorites win, or if I'm just sour grapes because I'm not winning in the bracket.
I think it's a combination. I think because everything is so chalk. I also think like gambling and all of like the daily fantasy stuff and all these other elements kind of diminish the bracket a little bit.
But the bracket it's so fun. It's like brackets are life in my mind. But then I think about it, I'm like, oh my God, I have UConn versus South Carolina in the championship today. And if UConn wins, I come in 16th or something. Like it's
Well, that and
by the way, that's not just the women's. The men's is pretty similar. Now, if Duke had won yesterday and we had Duke against Florida, you'd have like a third of the people would have like the 2 teams right in the championship game.
And I would have been one of them.
I would
Yes,
have
and
been
I
one
was
of them as
looking
well,
and I
yeah.
was like, even if Duke won against Florida as I had in my bracket, it would have put me in like 35th place.
Yeah. I mean, I picked St. John's for that reason. I was like, I'm going to pick someone who, if they win, I think I had like St. John's over like the Badgers or something. Like, I was like, I'm going to pick a matchup that if it happens, then I'm going to win.
You weren't even trying, huh?
No, I'm saying it's like, because to me, if
The
I pick Duke versus Florida, then like everyone's going to have it. And even if I get it right, who cares? Because I'm doubtful you're going to be in the money.
Well, then I go back and I look at why it's the case that I have my Final Four right, the national championship right, and I still wouldn't be in the top 3. And it's because I was picking a few upsets just in the first round because I'm like, I don't want to go all chalk, right?
Right.
Like, I want to pick a couple of upsets here. And then I'm thinking, why even pick upsets anymore? Especially as you progress through college basketball, specifically in the men's bracket for years to come. Every good mid-major program loses their best players.
Well, you're saying especially the men's. I think with the women's. So this year in men's and women's NCAA, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure all 4 number 1s made the Elite 8, and it was 3 2s and 1 3. I think that was in both men's and women's.
Yeah.
So you just had to figure out which one of the 3 seeds would beat the 2 seeds. But if you just went exactly all the 1s and 2s, you got 7 of the 8 of the Elite 8 right.
You actually believe, though, Greg, hold on, that caught my ear, that going forward because of the NIL era, we're going to have more chalk than ever going forward. You don't think there will eventually be Cinderella surprise team? Because
how are you ever going to have a Loyola Chicago again when those guys aren't going to stick together for 4 years?
Like, think about FAU. Like, all those guys who led that team to the Final Four. Yeah, I'm saying, but now, like, those guys are on, like, Michigan and, like,
the country.
Yeah.
We just got one of them.
Yeah, like, those guys, like, end up going to the next spot and the next spot. Now, there's still a chance. There's also a chance that, like, someone just decides, like Houston, for instance, right? They weren't anything, but all of a sudden a billionaire decided he wanted to help them get a practice facility, get a this, get a that. So I think you will see other teams come out, and because all it takes is one person, right? One person gives you $10 million for your basketball program, then that can be you now.
Yeah. I don't know. I think, Houston is obviously a product of consistency and staying together, to Greg's point, but they're not a mid-major. I think of like
wait, why are they not a mid-major?
Because they're in the Big 12.
How many years have they been in the Big 12?
That I don't know off the top of my head. Not super long, but
I think this is their first year. I think they just left the AAC for the Big 12 this year.
Well, Kelvin Sampson's had them so good, though. I mean, that's why they've been so consistent. Is the head coach, and to your point on the funding. But I guess I think of like Oakland last year, right? They shock the world by beating a Kentucky team. NC State last year goes on that incredible run. Like, we had a lot of chaos last year. We just had chalk this year. I just don't think that this necessarily equals what the future holds in college basketball, because this is a tournament that just breeds chaos. And we didn't have it this year on either side. But I don't think that's necessarily indicative of what's to come.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, but I do think, to Greg's point, it's probably more than less, but it won't be this bad.
You're just going to know, like, okay, so Houston has somebody, they're going to emerge and they're going to become a program to be reckoned with. But they were what? They weren't a 6 seed or a 7 seed making a run. And it still is college basketball. So in any given game, you can have a team that goes off from 3. You can have a bad performance. Like, it's not that you can't have the one game upset. I just don't see those, 7, 8 seeds going too far.
Yeah, Strophy, what year were you born?
Born in 1998.
Okay, so from 1992 until 2018, Houston played one NCAA tournament game.
Really?
They played one NCAA tournament game in that entire time.
Calvin Sampson's
2018 second round, 2019 Sweet 16, 2021 Final Four, 2022 Elite 8, 2023 Sweet 16, 2024 Sweet 16, 2025 National Championship. You talk about building a consistent program, but that came out of nowhere. Like, if you look at it, like, I mean, this wasn't like Clyde Drexler and like Hakeem Olajuwon. Like, I mean, this is a long time ago. I mean, that's a long time ago when Houston played basketball, and Kelvin Sampson and the Rockets owner together made it into a program.
You do wonder as well if you're like,
by the way, and BYU could be next, just so everybody knows. Like,
well, how much are they giving that kid next year? $8 million.
So is BYU a mid-major, or do they not? Are they not a mid-major? What's BYU now?
Not a mid-major.
They're in the Big 12.
So that's not a mid-major now, right? And so are they in this group of like 8 teams that are going to be in the Elite 8 next year?
I mean, very likely, yeah. Like, I don't even know. Maybe mid-major is the wrong word to use, but it's the teams that don't resource the way that the other teams do.
Right. So
and basketball, I do think, is so. I mean, it is so much easier because you've got 10 kids.
Yep.
So you do wonder if more schools are going to be like, it's more cost effective. Now, football still is going to drive the most revenue to any university, but it's more cost effective to put together a great basketball program than it is a great football program. It's really difficult to pay for a great football program. Now, by the way,
what about, though, is it more efficient to build a great women's program? Because women's have as many people watching the games as men's now, and you could get women for a lot cheaper, like NIL wise, than men than men's players.
Sure, but you also have to wonder, like you did see a precipitous drop-off in viewership from the Final Four matchup last year that featured Caitlin Clark to the Final Four matchups this year on Saturday night. And so if you have
On Friday night? You're saying the women's on Friday?
Yeah. If you have a transcendent talent, and I don't think that's exclusive to Caitlin Clark. I think if Juju found herself in the women's Final Four.
And if both games weren't 30-point games, right? Like these were not competitive games,
In overtime, it's going to be hard to duplicate what that was last year. It takes time to build the LSU Iowa rivalry that took place. That was sort of that captured the sports world last year. But yeah, I think that you have to wonder. I mean, let's just take a school like Wisconsin, right? Wisconsin prides itself on being more of a football school than anything else. Now they are better. They are a better women's hockey school. They are a better women's volleyball school. They are better at a lot of things, but they still pride themselves on being a football school. And this year, their over/under for a win total is 5.5, and you get a lot better odds at over than you do under when you're looking at that. At some point, would it be
wait? What sport is that?
Football.
Wait. In the Big Ten?
That's correct.
No, just their entire season.
Wait, Kyle, are you aware of this?
Yep, very so much aware of it.
Have you looked at their schedule?
Yeah, they shocked if they make a bowl game again.
I know, but 5. So
5.5 wins,
and the minus odds are for under,
and the
bigger minus odds, the bigger odds.
Correct.
Wait, so the odds are the Badger football team's going to win 5 games this year?
Correct. Yes.
Yep.
And I have looked at the schedule, but wait, can we go through the schedule again? Can we find 7 wins, Kyle?
We're not finding.
No, we're not. We're not.
Wait,
we're barely finding.
You're saying
5.
you can't find 7?
Craig, it is.
You're an optimistic dude, Kyle.
Craig, if you follow the Wisconsin Badgers and who they were getting transfers from, they were celebrating transfers. No shot at North Dakota State. It's a great school, but it's North Dakota State. They got a D3 player that came and
wait. But
we
remember,
just got
I can find D3 guys.
No,
you can't find 7 wins.
Wait, but isn't that getting back to the roots of the Wisconsin program?
Hell no, D3.
I'm saying, like,
we get walk-ons from Wisconsin, build a wall. They just had a kid, the top kid in the 2026 class, just said, sayonara, I'm going to Minnesota. He's going to row a boat, Craig. The wall has been broken through. It's over. The Mongolians are gone.
Yeah.
He's going to row a boat, Craig.
Just teach me history. Explain to me what Mongolia has to do with this.
No,
just real
you're
quick.
we're not
Come
going
on,
down.
just explain it
The
to me.
Chinese and the Mongolian, right? Didn't they have the wall? Then the Mongolians tried to get to China and they built the wall or something like that?
It's part of the building of the Great Wall of China. Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
And they're rowing? Did they row?
The Mongolians
Or is
did
that
row
just-
somewhere.
All right. Miami of Ohio at home.
That's
a win.
All right, we got one.
One.
You're going to get 2 right off.
Middle Tennessee.
That's a win.
At
Yeah, there you
home.
go.
All right, so you got 2. So all you need to do, we're just trying to find 7, right?
Just trying to find
I mean,
that.
6 is that covers the spread, but 7. Okay, so we got to be able to do this.
All right, good luck.
All right, Alabama at Tuscaloosa. I recognize that's a tough one.
That's
okay?
a tough one.
No shot.
I mean,
That's not
Vanderbilt.
Saban's Bama anymore.
But
That's not
Vanderbilt, didn't Vanderbilt go to Bama and win?
No, I think
Or was
they
that at
won
home?
at Vanderbilt.
Okay.
It was
Yeah,
a
Oh, yeah, they took the goalpost. That would have been a long walk from Tuscaloosa with those
to
goalposts.
Nashville, yeah.
That would have been awesome, though. If they took the goalposts from Alabama and brought them all the way to Nashville. Like that's like some Tory Lowe 1017 The Truth, like walking stuff.
That is true.
Like Tory would take the goalposts like to DC. All right. Okay, so we're 2-1 though.
2-1, winning record.
Maryland at home is a win.
You could win that game.
Maryland, come on,
I'm not
Kyle.
going to put up a fight here.
You could win that game
Yeah,
at
you can
home.
win that game.
Winnable.
You
All
guys
right.
not the ones I'm worried about, boys.
All right.
So can I just say,
3-1.
It's the next 6 weeks.
Wisconsin's starting quarterback is the kid from Maryland last year,
Correct.
Billy Edwards Jr.
Oh, he got game.
Yeah, game did not go to a bowl game last year. So I'm just letting you that Maryland, I'm sure they could have upped
Where'd
the
the
ante to keep
Syracuse quarterback go from this past year? Does anyone know?
Kyle, you
Kyle
talking-
McCord, he's in
Yeah.
the draft.
he's going.
Can't we get him?
He's going to
no,
the
he's
draft.
going in the
Fred.
second round to the NFL.
But can't
He
we
could
pay,
make more in
Can't we
college,
pay him
probably.
more? Yeah. That's the guy I watched last year, and I was like, "That's the guy the Badgers need." If you had that guy,
I don't know.
We're going to the tournament.
You
next
had your
year.
chance to try to get him when he left Ohio State.
You know better than me, but you both will know better than me. But I don't know if we got the bankroll for that. He's going to go make.
Call call Ted Kellner and be like, yo, this guy, come
I'm pretty
on
sure
now.
Ted Kellner's doing quite a bit.
Oh, no,
already,
he's
Craig.
he's doing his part.
Pretty sure he's donor number 1 in the power.
I think he's
rankings.
over 1, 2, and 3. But I'm saying, but I don't know what all the things we're doing it on, but we just did it on that one guy, and we'd be there, right?
Hell no.
No?
All right, so I'll give you the Maryland win.
Okay.
Keep going, keep
All right,
going.
Maryland. We got
So we're
3 wins.
3-1. All right, now. Remember, we started off last year, what, 5-2, something like that, and then we.
I don't remember last year. I'm glad that's it. Okay, at Michigan, that's a tough one.
Nope.
But Michigan,
We're not tough.
is Michigan winnable?
Not
No.
at Michigan.
No.
Right,
Michigan
we'll
beat
give
Ohio
that as a
State
lot.
this year.
You get the
Yeah.
win against Maryland. You're 3-2.
Okay, 3-2. Badgers are looking good on their
All
way
right
to
now.
seems like 8 or 9 wins at 3-2. Okay, Camp Randall, Iowa. Learned their lesson last year on the road. Iowa ran the ball on them. They now know that Iowa's a running team, so they'll be prepared
wait,
to
hold on,
stop.
wait a minute.
They'll
What
be
happened?
prepared
They-
to stop the run.
They lost to Camp Randall, Iowa the year before.
Yeah, but they'll be prepared to stop the run this year against Iowa. What do you think? I mean, Iowa's not. I mean, come on. Can we beat Iowa?
I think they can beat Iowa. Sure.
Winnable. Winnable. All right, 4 wins.
I think it's winnable. No?
winnable.
We say that every year.
Fellas, here's the problem. Is that, do y'all realize last year, not only did you lose to Iowa, you lost to also Nebraska, and you lost to Minnesota. The 3 games that actually mean something for a team that's looking to make a bowl game, all they need to do is win one of those games
Okay.
to have been bowl eligible.
All right.
You're looking in the past.
Yeah, that was
Kyle.
last year.
Yeah,
We're talking
we're
about
talking about
this
this year.
We got worse.
On Wisconsin, 4-2. All right.
There we go.
Ohio State comes to Camp Randall.
It's a tough one. We'll give that as a loss.
They're going to be the best team in the country.
But remember, last year, the Badgers almost beat like all the good teams they played.
And they
like
got
Penn
smoked.
State,
There
Oregon.
There was a key
like,
word in that sentence.
Almost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the
Okay.
one.
So
There's a
Iowa
song,
State.
too.
Ohio State's gonna be a loss. Going to Oregon, we'll say that's a loss. So now we're at 4-4. Okay. Here's where the schedule gets interesting. You got Washington at home. Totally winnable game.
So what?
Those West teams coming east.
Can I ask you a question?
That game will probably be at like 11 a.m.
What,
hope so.
what about the Wisconsin Badgers makes you think anything is totally winnable?
Yeah, that's where I'm at too, Kyle.
Win a bowl? I mean, they were competitive with some of the best
you're-
teams in the country last year.
yeah,
That means
but-
win a bowl.
Craig, they lost the benefit of the doubt when we lost to Nebraska for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, but
And
Nebraska was good in the 80s.
Yeah, and
And
they're,
nice.
they're,
But
they're in the Big 8.
It's also tough. Like when you're on a team and the entire team can smell the stench of death like they did last year, it's hard to turn around from
Yeah,
that.
and this year
like-
we're feeling the
Th-
stench.
like the-
and next year's team's gonna be feeling the stench of over 5.5. So that's gonna be a big buzz.
Once Van Dyke went down, right, against Bama, and the season kind of took a left-hand turn, like then once you start rolling downhill, like that season felt like a loss throughout the
okay,
entire
so
season.
Washington- yeah,
that
that-
played the previous
Yeah.
season, though. I wasn't the biggest fan of his.
By halftime of the Alabama game, it felt like it was over. Yeah. And I'm not talking about the Alabama game. 5-4. Indiana at Indiana. We got to say it's a loss. It's a program on the rise. It's
I agree.
weird to say it, but it's true.
They passed us.
Okay. Now you're 5-5 going into home Illinois at Minnesota.
Illinois is going to be really good this year.
They sure are.
They're going to be really good this year.
Rep Bielema's
Really good.
Like college football playoff good. Yeah.
I don't know
He's
if I buy
tripping.
that.
He's tripping.
I don't know if I buy that, but
You don't think we can get a
get
split
everybody back.
between
You're
those
gonna
two?
split between those
Split
two.
those two? Split home Illinois and at
So
Minnesota?
what does that put it? 6 and
6. That's it. It's a 6.
There you go.
Wow, man.
So you couldn't find 7. And by the way,
But you could. It's
two of those games you chalked up as wins, you said winnable games.
Yeah. No, I mean,
But that's also not considering that they could surprise. Maybe Indiana has an injury.
Listening,
and, they
I
listening
will-
to you two, it sounds
I
like
will
4 and 8
agree.
is on the
I
table.
will agree. It is difficult to find 7. Like, or it's difficult to believe in 7. You could find 7. And, like, you could say, like, oh, yeah, home against, like, Ohio State.
Yeah,
like,
that's the
we've seen
tragedy.
Ohio State
Craig.
come in here as the one. Like, I'm
Craig.
saying you could make up anything.
Craig,
but
no, the tragedy is that when we look at Ohio State, we look at Michigan. These used to be games where we're like, all right, let's see what we got. We can pull it off. Camp Randall night game.
Yeah.
Now it's just like,
What I have a
But
hard
that was last year, though, Kyle. You got to admit, even as bad as the Badgers were,
Yeah.
last year, Camp Randall night
But what
games,
happened-
those games were up for grabs.
yeah. What happened, Craig, is that what you lost is you found out that Wisconsin no longer has the edge of the identity. Right? You used to have guys where, hey, we need to win one game. I talked about this on Kyle Brust and Nortman here on ESPN Wisconsin. I said the difference between this team and the past team is that you had coaches and you had a program that came and played and coached for the W. And so when it came to the games against Nebraska, it's like,
I'm
we're
with
not,
you.
We're not losing to Nebraska. When it came against Iowa, we're going to compete.
Yeah, Nebraska's
We're gonna compete
newer,
Iowa.
but you're right.
But when it
On
came to
Iowa and Minnesota especially, right? You could tell those games meant less to the team last year.
They got smoked, and all they had to do was win one of those games to be bowl eligible. Bowl eligibility, that streak that we had, that meant something to guys that actually grew up saying, I want to come to Wisconsin. But when you come from, all these different places.
And guys from those other schools be like, who can bowl eligible? Why does that even matter? Like, the Pinstripe Bowl, the Fenway, like, who cares, right? But I'm with you on all that. All right, real quick. More interested, what are you more into? Women's championship today, men's tomorrow. What are you making sure to watch more?
Equally yoked.
Equally yoked as well. Probably men's, but I
think the women's almost has more star power than
because you got South Carolina going for their second in a row versus Paige Beckers going for her only, right? And she's dominating.
Back to what
Gino
UConn
trying to
was.
win, and Dawn Staley being like, this isn't just about Paige Beckers. Like, give some credit to our team that just made it back after losing key players. I mean, to me, the women's Kelvin Sampson, that part of it's compelling. If it was like Houston versus Duke in the finals,
I don't know. Houston made it real interesting yesterday. Yesterday was incredible.
Also, by the way, Bruce Pearl, Kelvin Sampson versus Bruce Pearl would have been interesting to me, especially with the Wisconsin Bruce Pearl connection.
Two guys who cheated in the past, but now
they realize they weren't cheating.
Yeah, not erase it.
Yeah, exactly.
I love them both, by the way.
Yeah. So, if I could only watch one game, I'm watching the women's game of the two.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I want to see Gino win tonight, even though I love Dawn. I really do. But I feel like there's something here about UConn and Gino.
I agree.
They're going to get it back. That girl Paige is.
I love Dawn, but when I was at Potawatomi, I did put some on Paige to win most outstanding player of the tournament. So, sometimes we've got with our wallet.
The UConn is such a large favorite. I'm also surprised.
And they were 2 seed.
Yeah. I'm also surprised Houston's coming into being the underdog on Monday.
Oh, I'm not surprised by that. Florida's good, man.
Did you see what Houston did last night?
I absolutely
did, yes. Seems like
but they shot really well to do it also. Yeah.
But Duke also couldn't rebound the ball.
All right, we're gonna talk a little Bucks when we come back, and then we got Wildy after that. It's Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin.
You're listening to Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. The 2015 Wisconsin men's hoops team gave us all a march to remember.
There will be no undefeated champion on Wisconsin with an unbelievable stretch drive to the championship game.
On June 26th, enjoy an intimate celebration with the stars of the run with Made 'em Believe. Presented by M3 Insurance. World-class expertise and individual attention. Tickets are on sale now at UWHoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
Look what I found.
What is it?
It's a list of the traditional and modern anniversary gifts for each year of marriage.
Sarah and I use a different list. But go ahead and tell us about yours.
The traditional gift for your first anniversary is paper, but the modern gift is a clock.
Well, our list says the first anniversary is always diamond jewelry.
What's your list called?
The People's Choice.
The traditional gift for your 6th anniversary is iron, but the modern gift is wood.
What a coincidence. For the 6th anniversary, our list says diamonds again. What do you have for the 10th anniversary, Rick?
Traditional is aluminum, modern is diamond jewelry.
Well, there you go. Our lists agree. What have you got for the 7th anniversary?
Copper and a desk set.
Nope. Diamonds again.
I'm beginning to see the wisdom of the People's Choice list.
It's good to have you on board.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Did you make up that People's Choice list, or is it real?
Well, we're people, aren't we?
Find the Kesslers nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Save big money on your next project with help from Menards. Be prepared for flooding and keep your basement dry with Barracuda sump pumps. Barracuda makes high-quality pumps that offer dependable performance for when you need it most. Save big money on all Barracuda sump pumps now at Menards. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Hi, this is Michelle Voskel, CPA and team member at the Neal Group. I have a question for you business owners. How do your books look? Are they ready for your tax return to be prepared? Did you and your accountant talk during the year and develop a plan to minimize your tax bill? Or does this sound like you? You can never get a hold of your CPA. Phone calls are not returned and questions are never answered. Your books are a mess and the bank account hasn't been reconciled since last year. You don't get any advice to help you run your business. That's not the case with the Neal Group. We are advocates and partners with our clients to help them grow. We like to work with you throughout the year to keep your books up to date so you run your business profitably. Are you ready to grow your business, improve cash flow, have less stress, and live a better life? We can help. Call us at 414-325-2040 or visit nealgroup.net to book a meeting and see if we can help. The first meeting is free. Don't wait, do it now. That's 414-325-2040 or nealgroup.net.
Woo! Hey, this is Ben Brust from Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin. People can't stop screaming about the Screamin' Sicilian frozen pizza, and no wonder. There's plenty to scream about, like the buttery stone-fired crust, secret recipe tomato sauce, mounds of whole milk mozzarella, and tons of premium toppings. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer and find out for yourself why Sporked called Screamin' Sicilian's Holy Pepperoni frozen pizza the best of the best. Screamin' Sicilian, taste what all the screamin' is about.
Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Brad Nortman here with some great news from my friends at Bank 5-9. For a limited time, you can earn as much as 4.8% on one of their CD specials. With 9, 17, and 25-month options, you're sure to find a CD that fits your needs while you earn a great return. It's simply another way Bank 5-9 is making lives better in our communities. Hurry! These high rates won't last long. Check out bank59.com/CD for more details. Member FDIC.
Show podcasts, team-centric feeds, and listening live whenever, wherever. All of that in the palm of your hand. The Wisconsin On Demand app, available in the Apple or Android App Store. Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Jason Wilde coming up soon. Greg Scalzo, Alex Strope, Kyle Wallace, Craig Karmazin with you on Sunday Karma. The Bucks pull out an overtime victory. I was only able to watch the last possession of regulation and overtime because I was at my second consecutive Milwaukee Brewers game. Let's do a Brewers count. How many games everyone's been to this year? Kyle, how many home games have you been to the Brewers?
Zip Zero stingy with the Nero.
Stropey.
1.
Scals. I'm at 3. Oh, 3 to 1 to 1 to
and
0.
Your record is 1 and 2?
I am 1 and 2 now.
Where have you been sitting at?
Different spots. Like I was up in the 400s for a while yesterday.
Oh wow! Oh, look at me! I was up in the 400s. I was up in the 400s with the other people.
I didn't say other people.
Oh,
you asked me where I was sitting.
You went up there and said, "Oh wow, life is different here, man."
My daughter's like, "Wow, I didn't know there were seats up here." No,
why do people do that?
No, she's always like, "Can we go sit in the euchre seats?" And I'm like, I don't know if they only allow those open for some games because you would think if anyone could buy a euchre seat for any game, there would be like random people there every night, right? Do you know how that works, Scals?
I think the euchre seats are for sale every night.
So like if just one person buys a euchre seat, then they could be in that euchre section alone and they have to have like ushers there and stuff for it. I don't know. We got to find out about that.
We can learn about that.
Wait, should we fill the, should there be a Sunday Karma?
Yes. Best idea you've ever had.
Euchre seat trip?
Yeah. All right. Speaking of best idea or worst idea, I was in a suite for a little while on Friday night. And someone had the idea for a giveaway. Of a Sal Frelick dirty jersey night.
I mean, you say Sal Frelick, I'm in.
Right, but where like it's like a jersey shirt type thing.
Yeah.
And there's like dirt stains kind of on it already because he's like the scrappy, like
he's the best.
Right. Like I'm in on Sal Frelick dirty jersey night. Do you think dumb idea or smart idea?
I love it. I'm in.
I think it's a great idea. Yeah. Is it a giveaway?
Yeah, giveaway. First 25.
It's pre-dirty?
Yes, pre-dirty.
Like
so
it's like printed on there.
Yeah, it's like printed.
It's like all the like that trend that went through where like you were buying shoes that looked like they were already scuffed up, but like now it's a jersey.
Is that
that's
a trend
dirty.
you participated in? Why was that so fresh in your mind?
I can't believe people were just buying some Dookie, some Air Force Ones, and beating them up.
Yeah.
And saying this is the style. Very disrespectful to the culture.
That was like a popular thing for a while.
Did you participate?
Nelly would have
No, I didn't participate in that. But I mean, it's the same idea as ripped jeans, right? The idea would be that you're buying jeans that are already ripped as opposed to having them ripped yourself. Like this is not a foreign concept.
I mean, it is to me.
Kyle, Sal Frelick Dirty Jersey Night.
Oh, absolutely. I love the idea.
I think it's brilliant.
Like great.
Because I think like one of the things about like when you have a team that that is turned over and there's some new players playing and all that, like Sal Frelick's one of those guys I think that we all get excited about, right? Like Jackson Churio, Sal Frelick. There's certain guys that are like a given if you're a Brewers fan you get into, and I think to like make people get what his identity is. I think Sal Frelick Dirty Jersey Night's a home run.
I'm super in. I mean, Kyle, you can attest.
Salvatore!
Thank you very much.
He loves Sal. I love Sal, but he loves Sal.
All right, we're all in. I remember, Kyle, we were on the air after Sal's debut, and we were in on Sal the morning after.
Debut.
Yeah, I told you. See, I was telling Strofe earlier this week on Kyle Brust and Norman that I was big on Sal.
Yeah,
I was also at that game. It was a blast.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got to make that happen.
It's a good Bucks segment.
Update, Euchre, those seats are always available. $1 a piece on game days. Obstructed view seats to Euchre seats.
Every day?
Yeah.
I mean,
why are you surprised by this?
Because I don't see a single person in there. And I'm just thinking, like, if you could get the seats for $1, how is Kyle's like, no dinero. He can't go to the game. So you don't have $1?
No. Listen, I'm happy to go to Brewers game. I got one coming up here in May. I'm very excited.
In May?
That's like a month from now.
Oh, you have one in May? Like, what do you have to like plan? Like it's a trip to Africa?
Yeah.
Like I think you booked your Africa trip in shorter time than like to go to a Brewers game.
Well, the man is going he's going to some tropical island soon. He's a busy guy.
I have weddings.
He's
got 864 weddings this year.
Oh, mister, I told y'all Kyle travels. You guys last week were killing me saying that Kyle's always here. Kyle never travels. Kyle never goes anywhere.
Constant of the show, it's Kyle Wallace.
Legitimately, I just made a decision when I come back from my trip. May 4th, I said, you know what? I don't get in until literally Sunday morning at 12:58, and I have to drive from Chicago. I said, you know what, Kyle? You need to put yourself first. You probably shouldn't want to fly back in and then drive and go to work the next day when you get home around 2 a.m., 3 a.m.
Yep, I like that. But go to a few Brewers games. All right, I'm in the lead, 3-1-1-0.
You're off that day. Everybody here is
May
off
4th?
that day. Yeah.
No, I'm here May 4th.
Oh, maybe it's the 26th. Everybody's off.
Yeah, that's the one I'm
Well, everyone's here. Let's focus on the positive. We got Jason Wilde coming up next, and we have a mystery guest coming up for 7-Eleven.
Already lined up, confirmed everything?
Already confirmed, lined up, ready to go.
Doing that
This is the earliest you've scheduled
The segment's great.
I didn't know we were still doing it.
Carl Ravitch last week. You missed it.
All right.
Ravi was great. All right, we have a mystery guest, but it's no mystery. Jason Wilde joins us to talk Packers next. It's Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin.
This is Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Oh my gosh, Allie, did you look at Janet's roof? Ugh, it's like so flat. It looks like one of those roofing contractor commercials.
Who even understands those roofing guys anyways?
I like flat roofs and I cannot lie. You other contractors can't deny. TPO way up high. I'm hooked and I can't stop staring.
If you want a roof that's worth staring at, Avondale Roofing is where you go. Your roofing experts for over 30 years. AvondaleRoofing.com.
Hey, it's Gabe Neitzel from ESPN Milwaukee's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, and now is the time to take advantage of the summer membership at X-Golf in Brookfield and X-Golf in Mequon. Their summer memberships give you unlimited golf for up to 4 hours per day. Their par package covers just you for $250 for the entire summer, or their birdie package for $500 gives you no guest fees plus a 10% discount on food. Rainy days, too hot, maybe you only have an hour? Use the Sims at X-Golf in Brookfield and Mequon. Check them out, xgolfbrookfield.com and xgolfmequon.com.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as one business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey, it's Brad Nortman, and I've got to tell you about my go-to car wash, Tsunami Express. Get your ride looking its best and ride the wave at Tsunami Express Car Wash, Milwaukee's fan favorite for that perfect shine. Sign up for a monthly membership and enjoy unlimited washes for less than $1 a day. Skip the wait with the fast lane and take advantage of great perks. With locations in Midtown Milwaukee, Waukesha, Greenfield, Oak Creek, and Mount Pleasant, Tsunami Express has you covered. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. Visit TsunamiExpress.com to learn more.
Slide into your neighborhood Century Food Store to score the freshest produce, tastiest treats, and everything in between. Now through Wednesday, save on 48-ounce selected varieties Stone Ridge ice cream, 2 for $7. 18 to 24.6-ounce selected varieties Vandecamp's fish, $4.49. 4.5 to 5.3-ounce selected varieties Dan and Greek yogurt, 5 for $5. 9.5 to 10.75-ounce selected varieties Hostess mini donuts, 2 for $4.
Let's get some strawberries.
Attention shoppers. Safe.
Okay. Ooh. Pineapple fulfills every need.
While you're shopping, a drive way back, it's a goner.
There's something goofy going on with the PA.
Need a price check and I'll take me out to the ball game.
See, what is going on?
You're hearing things. We're at Century Foods, and you can't take your mind off winning that ultimate baseball fan sweepstakes.
I'm hoping to throw out the first pitch at a Milwaukee baseball game.
Or attend batting practice.
Or hold the finish line ribbon for the racing sausages.
You don't say.
The ultimate baseball fan sweepstakes at Century Foods. Enter on Century's Facebook or Instagram by July 30th.
Why is life better with American Family Insurance? Because every policy comes with something very special. A trusted agent who's there to help protect your dreams by finding the right coverage at the right price. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Start the day with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
When you're played like an A player, you have to play like an A player, not a B player, and he has never played like an A player.
On 94.5 ESPN. Streaming on the Wisconsin On Demand app and on video at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
I said, give me 2 pearls. I need 2 pearls.
This is Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Jason Wilde joins us. Good morning, Jason.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Great. So, Jason, what's the biggest takeaway from the Packers from the NFL owners' meetings? That they don't have one?
No, I think there's takeaways from it. I think one of them is that they're going to open up the left tackle job for competition again. I think that's a pretty interesting development. They've got a first-round pick who missed most of the season with a shoulder injury, so they want to get him on the field, and the place they think they can upgrade is a place where a guy has started 35 games over the last 2 years for them. So that's...
Wait, Jason, we have breaking news going on in the studio. Did you hear the song that you were bumped back with?
I heard it. I don't know it.
Thank you, Jason.
I'm shocked that you've never heard of this song.
I'm sorry. I don't
Wait,
know.
have you ever heard this song before, Jason?
Wait, is that did I hear, like, were the lyrics like party pooper?
What?
No, it's Get Me 2 Per. Me 2 Per. drive me to
Is this Nelly?
My Air Force Ones. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Nelly Murphy Lee, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. St. Lunatic.
Now that we've established that I'm terrible at
No, we were establishing that Strofe has never heard of the song, which was shocking. I mean, this is like a like if you're listening to just like 2000s like pop music, like this song
Not
would
even
be on
rap
there.
music.
Yeah,
Just
that's
like
what I'm saying.
literally
Pop
like-
music.
Yeah, it was probably on like
one of them other stations that.
Which state? Like the Mix? Like I feel like the Mix would play it, or like
I was
like
4 years old when it was released, so I should probably know it.
Yeah,
WKTI.
It was
Yes.
on WKTI
This
before it
station,
became us.
In fact,
before it became country, though. No, I destroyed it being country. I won't forget that. There were a few country fans who were mad at me, and I'm like, oh, you know what? There's this thing now called Spotify or Apple Music. You can listen to any song you want. You don't need to wait for us to play a country song, and you can do it for free. And by the way, if you want it commercial free, you can get all those songs on Sirius XM. I was like, yeah, it's okay. I know you're mad we don't have your country songs, but there's other places you can find
There's got to
them.
be another country station in the town.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably on like now that's what I call music mix like 22 or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was
Oh,
more
we're
a
gonna have to
25 guy.
fact check that.
26.
Oh no, was Air Force Ones in, and now that's what I call music. I would go
I
yes.
would guarantee that it is. That's
Jason,
gotta
do
be,
you know what Air Force Ones are?
Yeah, they're Nike shoes.
All right. See, yeah, Strofe was confused about
I
that.
wonder. I mean, I'm guessing that
Wait a
charted.
minute. I know what the shoes are.
It was number 1 on the U.S. Billboard. Oh, it got to number 3 on U.S. Billboard Hot 100, like of all genres.
Okay, so now that I call music
Number 12.
number 12.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so all right.
Strofe, this is way worse for Strofe than me. Right?
Yeah. No, this is all about Strofe
It
right
was-
now.
It was track number 6 on Now That's What I Call Music. Number 12. It was also around songs like I Love You by Justin Timberlake, Jenny from the Block by
that's a good
Jennifer
one.
Lopez.
Have you
I
heard
know
that one?
That's a
Yeah,
great song.
How about Bonnie and Clyde by Jay-Z and Beyonce?
Sure. When I'm
some
Gone by
fire down.
Three Doors Down.
When I'm gone.
All
No.
Words by
That's
Saliva.
Since You've
Saw
Been Gone.
Saliva 2 years ago.
Wait. What's When I'm Gone by Three Doors Down?
When how does that go?
How does he know that, but not Air Force
Because I'm
Ones?
more of a rock guy.
No,
than
but that's Since You've Been Gone by Kelly
no, yeah,
Clarkson.
he's singing the wrong song. I don't really know how it goes, but it's one of Three Doors Down's most popular songs.
I also guarantee that Air Force Ones was on some sort of soundtrack for a video game or something. Like, it's just always around.
I don't know what you want from me.
I don't know either. An apology?
I apologize for disgracing your favorite song, Greg.
No,
favorite
just
song.
to St. Louis and the entire Midwest.
The Lou.
To take
This
you
is when
behind
I'm
the
gone.
scenes, Kyle went into Strofe's ear of like, have you heard of that
tell
song?
me when I'm here. That's this song. Inside of me.
Wait, keep going. What is that?
This is When I'm Gone.
I
Three
thought-
Doors
We
Down.
put enough trash.
No, keep
music on
going.
Friday.
Doesn't sound-
Keep going.
That doesn't sound familiar at all.
Yeah, Craig, because you actually like good music.
Wait, Wildy, is this familiar?
Yeah, I've heard this. I think it plays on the. These guys get a lot of run on the Matchbox 20 channel, which
Sure.
is right next to the Dad Rock channel on Sirius XM that I subscribe to. So when I'm not listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy or KBN, that's what I'm listening to. So I've heard a lot of Three Doors Down lately.
Oh, I know
Okay.
this.
I'm
scared. And love me when
This is
I'm
good.
gone.
I'm more.
Everything
I just want to know more about what Strofe listens to musically, because he did know "Don't Be Fooled by the Rocks That I Got." I'm still Jenny from the Block, so he knew that one.
Get it, girl.
So,
Get it, girl.
Jason.
That's just,
I mean, I know why he was looking at Jenny from the Block as a little kid.
Glad nobody can fault me for that.
Jason, were we talking about left tackles? What was going on here?
So I did mention that. That's why I didn't recognize that song, and I swear I heard "Party Pooper" as the lyrics, which goes to show how out of touch I am. Because actually, in my story today, I referenced a line that LaFleur had said in November when we were talking about how Rasheed Walker had kind of turned his season around, and his message was basically, "Look, he is playing very well. We're pleased that he's playing better." But like I always tell these guys, don't have me pat you on the butt and then have you poop in my hand.
I read that this morning. What a strange sentence.
Right. But and obviously he cleaned it up to the PG version, as he points out. But my point, Strofe, is that we probably, if I was smarter, should have seen this storyline coming when the guy's playing well, they're making a march to the playoffs, and the message basically from the coach is, yeah, don't get complacent just because you're playing well, and he does it publicly. So, I don't know how Rashid is going to react. One of the things that I love about the fact that we have Brian Bulaga on our team is that when he and Tausch start talking offensive line play, we all are smarter for it.
Yeah, and when people on the station do that, I just glaze over, and I have no idea who any of these people are. So wait, so explain to me what's going on, because I heard Gabe and Chewy talking about Rasheed Walker. So who's Rasheed Walker?
Oh, stop!
You're joking. You're just trying to set it up.
No, I'm saying give us
worse than not knowing the song.
I'm going origin story. Give us the origin story.
So Rasheed Walker was a starting left tackle at Penn State, and he suffered a knee injury his last season there, and he ended up falling all the way to the 7th round. And frankly, he's one of those 7th-round picks that the career arc he's on, he could be in the discussion of Donald Driver, Mark Tauscher, Adam Timmerman as 7th-round picks who turned out to be really good football players for this team. Unfortunately for him, after he, I would argue, saved their season in 2023. Remember, Bakhtiari has the knee issue the very first game, finishes that game in Chicago, never plays again. Rasheed Walker started 15 games that year. He fended off. He was sharing some time at one point with Yosh Nijman. Then there was a moment when the offensive coordinator, Adam Stenavich, comes out and basically says that Yosh didn't rise to the challenge of competition, and that Rasheed Walker did, which is another piece of this why I'm a little surprised that they're viewing him this way. And so he starts all these games, including 2 playoff games during the 23 season, started all 17 games at left tackle last year. Didn't play well early, but, and this is my favorite statistic, again, Pro Football Focus is not the gospel, but the Packers just gave a $77 million contract to a guard whose overall grade from Pro Football Focus was 65.4. They're also informing their starting left tackle that his job is now open for competition after his grade was 68.3. So he had a higher grade, and he's the one who's losing his job.
And
or
how
at
much?
least has to prove that he keeps
Jason, and how much does he make?
Barely nothing. Like, I mean, he's a 7th-round pick.
Right. So he's making less. He's making less than $1 million a year, right?
Yeah, I mean, I have to check his contract. He did get some of the. They do have a thing where if you play a lot as a low draft pick, they didn't have this back when Tausch was playing, but if you play a lot as a low draft pick, you get money from a pool.
Okay,
so he got more money.
Right. Okay, so this year he makes $3 million, right? Because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he'll make $3 million this year as a starting left tackle.
Yep.
Who played well, and they're telling him he's not good enough. They're not like, hey,
Well,
let's.
You're gonna have to prove to us that you're still good enough, and you're not. You're
And
not
Jason,
worse than
would
this
you
guy
have
that we
would you
drafted.
have assumed that he would have gotten a big extension by now?
No, because as Brian pointed out in our conversation on Wednesday, that they don't like to pay multiple offensive linemen second contracts. They feel like they need to allocate their money elsewhere. So, like, when you look at their history, it's rare for them to have, and that's why 2014 was such an interesting year, because I think Bulaga was on a new contract. TJ Lang had a new contract, and so did Josh Sitton. But that's not usual. And they had a rookie center who was making peanuts in Corey Linsley, who turned out to be a really good player. So I didn't think he would get an extension. I thought Zach Tom would be the one who'd be the priority this summer, and I think that's still the case. But the idea, here's what I thought would happen. I thought the guy's a first-round pick, Jordan Morgan. I thought the angle that they would take, because they had done this to Sean Ryan multiple times, is, hey, we're going to start him at right guard, and he's going to challenge Sean Ryan for that job. I thought Rasheed Walker played well enough. He's not Joe Thomas, as Brian says. He's not Chad Clifton. He's not David Bakhtiari. But for the price tag and for the level of play, he's a pretty good football player. And what I expected is that they would probably have him be the starter this year and then let him walk in free agency and get paid by someone else. And then they would bring Jordan Morgan over to left tackle after having him start at guard this season. And that's not their plan. And the fact that the GM and the head coach both came out and said that, I reached out to Rashid. I think he wisely didn't reply because I don't know how he would feel, but that's a tough pill to swallow for a guy that you should be able to argue pretty effectively played well, not Hall of Fame well, not Pro Bowl well, not All-Pro well, but well.
Now let's go back to who's pooping in whose hands here. Let's explain what happened here then. Now take us through that.
So when Rashid started playing well in November, and this is I feel like I should be a better investigator than I have been on the offensive line, because there was another instance where Domofsky late in the season asked LaFleur, he was doing a very positive, you could tell by the way Rob asked the question that it was a very positive story about how well the offensive line was playing. And LaFleur basically ruined the story. Like, he basically downplayed how well they were playing and basically argued that they weren't playing that well, actually, which was unexpected. And so that made me wonder, too, and I kind of flashed back to that as well. But when we asked about Rashid Walker in November, his quote was essentially, and I don't have it in front of me, but his quote was basically, look, yeah, he's playing better, but he doesn't want him to get complacent. And he always tells the guys, I don't want to be patting you on the butt and then have you poop in my hand, which is the PG version of how that's normally said.
So, I mean, it just basically feels like here's a guy who falls to a 7th-round pick, who's played pretty well, who they feel like if they don't stay on constantly doesn't play at that level, and that he came in, saved the season 2 years ago because he was like fighting for his NFL job, and they don't believe in his motor, right? I mean, that's what we're taking from all this, right?
Yeah, I mean, so one of the points that Brian made that I thought was significant was that it looked like early in the season, Brian used the word lazy with his technique. And that's what led to him getting flagged. I think he finished the year with 9 penalty flags thrown on him. He gave up 3 sacks. But I think that was, maybe something that they saw that they were frustrated by. But again, he did make right. Like, he did get his act together and start playing better. Now, whether or not that's enough, again, this is now going to be a competition. But Tausch's point, that's one of the other fun things about having the two of those guys go back and forth on our show. Tausch is the 7th-round pick, right? Bulaga was the 1st-round pick. And Tausch believes, and rightly so, he says this all the time, that 1st-round picks constantly have to prove they don't belong in the league before they finally aren't given another chance. 7th-round picks constantly have to prove that they do belong in the league, and that the draft status makes them, this guy's a 7th-round pick, et cetera, et cetera. So there's more. They have more to prove themselves. So if, let's just say Rashid Walker was a 1st-round pick and he played at the level he did, do we think that this would be the same storyline? Maybe. I don't know.
No, but don't you think it's the same like Brock Purdy, right? Don't you think the whole conversation around Brock Purdy has been different because of him being Mr. Irrelevant, right? Of
course.
Right? Like, if he was a 1st-round pick,
right.
The way he has played in his career, I think we would all look at him different. Like, I don't think it's possible for us, right? When you look at him, aren't you like, well, he's a 7th-round pick. Do you really want that? You're going to pay that guy $60 million? Yes. You think about it more system, right?
Yep.
I think it's
You're 100%
right. It's true.
If a 1st-round quarterback got drafted, say Trey Lance got drafted as he did by the 49ers, and he was in a Super Bowl, everybody would be talking about how much he's going to get paid.
Top 5 quarterback
Right.
in the NFC.
Top 5, yes. Right. Franchise quarterback.
Even look at Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold failed with one franchise, got one opportunity, had one great year, didn't win a Super Bowl or anything, and just got signed to be another franchise quarterback for the 3rd time.
Good point.
Right. And he got 30, but if he had played well the last 2 games of the year, he would have got 50.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's
You're right about
that's how much a benefit of the doubt he would have gotten. All right, more with Jason Wilde as we continue. It's Sunday Karma. Actually, you know what? Jason had 2 seconds, but let's just take Jason for 2 more minutes, and then we'll get to our 7 at 11 guest on time.
What am I supposed to say?
Craig making adjustments on the fly.
Wait, what was I supposed to say what did they do in the nurse?
Triage.
That didn't work.
Running this show, I mean, You just Kyle. I'll blame myself on that.
Oh, really?
Let
He
me,
started down one road.
Let
and
me
took
just do this. Chrissy, we're going to update this break here. I'll text you soon, okay?
Are you talking to Madison now?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Okay. As we continue with Jason Wilde on the most professionally run show in all of Wisconsin.
Well, now I'm just confused by the amount of bodily fluids that occurs in the offensive line room because the patch on the butt, poop in my hand line, and then Josh Myers, the now former center, puked on the football recently. Just a lot of bodily fluids going on in that room, and it makes me a little bit uncomfortable.
Hey, Jason, what's
Mark
the latest?
Schlereth used to pee his pants.
That's right. Yeah, that's how they called him Stink.
Where are we at with Jair Alexander? Obviously, I'm just trying to get away from the bodily fluids conversation here.
I appreciate your effort.
What is the latest there? Obviously, there's the report out there that the Packers are using his injury to try to free up some more cap space. Combine that with Goody basically saying, hey, we'll keep him. We want something in return for him if we are going to get rid of him. Are we still all convinced Jair will not be a part of this roster next year? What's the latest there?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm convinced, but I still think it's the most likely outcome. Right?
Oh, Jason, you see a scenario where he's on the team?
Yeah, I mean, I would think they would, first of all, have to get him to take a pay cut.
But he wasn't happy. He wasn't happy when he was the highest paid player in his position on the Packers. You think they would want a tail between his legs, pay cut, and expect that Jair Alexander would show up every week to play in that scenario? I can't imagine that.
So, a couple things. Very fair point. But a couple things. First of all, I don't know what his market is. I don't know how other teams view him. And Tausch loves to give me a hard time because he knows who most of the NFL executives are that I know well around the league. But I talked to a bunch of them, and there was this huge wide variance of what the Packers could get if they traded Jair. One said, I would ask for a 3 if I was Goody, and then I would settle for a 4 or a 5. Okay, so that was one option. I had another one say, I wouldn't even give up a 6th-round pick. It would be a 7th, or it would be one of those trades where I give you a pick that's higher. You take the player, but you also give me a lower pick in exchange too.
Right, like Jair in a 7 for a 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, like they did with Rasul Douglas at the trade deadline a couple of years ago, even though everyone forgets and just says that they got a 3rd-round pick for him when they gave up a 5th along with Rasul. So that was another one. Another one said they're just going to have to release him. Nobody, after these last 2 years, nobody is going to want to give up anything for him. It'll be hey, we can get this guy. He's got a lot to prove. We know how good he is when he plays, but we're not going to give up a draft pick to acquire him and force the Packers to release him. Now, here's the scenario, to answer your question, Craig, that makes me think that maybe there's a road back for him. And that is because I think I know he's got people in the building that still want him on the team. Because as one of them said to me, the guy can still play. The guy's a really, really good player. And my response to him in that conversation was, when he plays. And he said that's a fair point. So, again, it's a little bit of a
wait. Is that person in the building like part of the maintenance crew? Are they a player? Are they part of front office, coaching? Can we narrow it down a little bit?
Well, if we had done a second segment, I could have told you in the break on the phone, but instead I'll just have to say he works in the building.
Okay.
But he's not. I will tell you, he does not work on the janitorial staff.
Okay.
If that helps. But again, the key phrase there is what I said. When he plays, and I don't know how you expect anything other than this guy's going to miss some time. Now, I also, from your point of view, and Jair's point of view, I can't imagine that he wasn't irritated by the intimations that he could have been playing, and he wasn't, right? I mean, look, LaFleur behaved essentially the same way with his injury as he did with Bakhtiari's the year before. Like, he tried harder to disguise his frustration, but I don't know. Do you guys think he did a good job of hiding it?
Not necessarily. No, you could sense
I don't think
the
so.
total team frustration, I think.
Yeah, and that's
Right,
why, and now
so if I'm
Jair's
him,
the what?
do I
Like
want to come
eighth,
back to that?
now Jair's probably the 8th highest paid corner because like every day it seems like someone's getting a bigger deal. And he's going to be like, wait, I'm supposed to get a pay cut off of that? I'm better than all these guys. And I'll...
It's not a great situation. There's no denying that.
But how much does LaFleur have input into that versus just Goody playing it on paper with his roster?
Yeah, that's another part of the equation. I don't know if Goody is going to here's what I think. I think Goody is like, look, I can't do this anymore. And look, Goody has an affinity for him. He was his first draft pick, just like Aaron Rodgers was Ted Thompson's first draft pick. But I think he hates when guys are injured and unavailable, and he certainly doesn't like high-priced players who aren't productive, and he gets frustrated with that. So Jair checks those boxes. On the flip side, where are they at corner? They signed Nate Hobbs, but they had 3 other guys leave in free agency. Not great players, obviously. Role players, backup players in Eric Stokes, Robert Rochelle, and Corey Ballantyne. But I would think that Goody will hold on to him through the draft. And maybe he gets a chance to, hey, we'll give you Jair for a 6th on day 3, and he adds another pick because he wants more picks. And then if they get through the draft and he's still on the roster, at some point he is probably going to have to acknowledge that if I don't want this guy on my team, I'm going to have to not get anything in return for him. The last thing, so I know you guys want to go. So the biggest thing that I'm looking at and saying I still think it's a very low percentage that he comes back. And I said this to Tausch this week, how many times have we heard a general manager in Green Bay or, frankly, I don't know, anywhere say, well, if he's not going to be on the team and if he's not going to be helping us win games, we want to get something in return because we've invested heavily in Jair. GMs never play the if he's not on the team card. They never say that. It's always just assumed. So for him to have put that out there, to me, says, I don't really want him on the team. I want to trade him, and I want to find at least something for him instead of letting him go for free. And I think that feels, to me anyway, like Goody's stance as of now.
And I do feel like whoever gets Jair is going to get a good deal on him, whether they get him for nothing or whatever.
Sure.
Even at his salary, I think he's
motivated.
Yes.
Wants that next contract.
Yeah, if I'm
doubt.
if I'm the Packers, I am not letting him go in the division. That's why I'm going to try to find a way to get him somewhere, and it's not going to be in the division. That's what I would do. I'd be motivated there. Jason Wilde, you can check him out with Tausch every day. Weekly Wilde with Strophy and at Jason J. Wilde. There he is, the great Jason Wilde. Thanks, Jason.
Thanks, Jason.
All right, guys, take care. Be good.
7 at 11's coming up next. Scal's questioning that it even still exists.
So he's been off for a month. What do you expect?
When I'm on here, Craig hasn't been on here,
true.
and then we don't do it. So I just didn't know, if we were still doing this right now.
Well, maybe when I'm gone, you should step up as
I asked if they wanted me to.
Do you have a Rolodex of people?
You actually self-doubted your Rolodex when we brought it up last time.
No, I actually had a great one. I think I told you who it was going to be.
No,
that defeats the purpose because the whole point is for y'all to guess who it is.
But I was just told by Kyle, no, we're not doing that. Last time I was hosting.
Well, the problem is that we had already come to the segment. And so it was a little bit too late.
Well, let's hear what the open of the segment sounds like. There's always some great new production bits. It's part of watching and listening to Sunday Karma every week is hearing all the new production. Seems like every 7 to 10 years we get a new piece of production. Here it is, 7 at 11, coming up next. Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin.
It's Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. What happens when you mix a 3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year with a Packers Hall of Famer?
I always loved the line, I'm not here to prove them wrong. I'm here to prove us right.
But that's from a not-petty person. A petty person would never say that.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Is that why Tom Petty was playing when you kicked that guy?
Yeah, that's Matchbox 20.
Kurt Petty.
Catch him from 9 to noon right here on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and at ESPN Milwaukee. Milwaukee on YouTube.
It's time for you and that diamond to come alive again.
At the 4th annual Spring Ring Cleaning at Kessler's.
Even if you have a good ultrasonic jewelry cleaner, it can't match the pressurized steam cleaning we do at Kessler's.
Let us steam clean and polish your engagement ring.
For free.
I'm Joe Gerke, president of Kessler's, and we want to strip away all the soap scum that is making your diamond look dull.
For free. And while we're doing it, we'll inspect the prongs on your ring to make sure your diamond isn't about to fall out.
It's the 4th annual Spring Ring Cleaning at Kessler's.
Here's another idea. Bring us anything you own that needs to be repaired, and we'll give you a price to make it like new again.
And if you have some old jewelry you don't wear anymore,
We can make something unique and wonderful out of it.
unique in all the world.
Welcome to Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Get started on your painting project and save big money at Menards. Rust-Oleum's 5-in-1 spray paint lets you choose from 5 unique spray patterns with a twist of the dial, so you can get a professional finish on every project. Save big money on Rust-Oleum spray paint now at Menards. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey football fans, Verizon is giving you the chance to win the ultimate draft experience with the Road to the Draft sweepstakes. 10 lucky winners will win tickets for the first day of the 2025 draft in Green Bay, including round-trip car service from Milwaukee, hotel accommodations, plus access to the Verizon viewing zone where you'll be taken care of like a first-round pick. Don't miss your chance to win the ultimate draft experience powered by Verizon. Hurry to select Wisconsin Verizon locations to enter by April 13th. No purchase necessary to enter. Must be legal U.S. resident of Wisconsin or Illinois. Age 21 years or older. Void where prohibited. For official rules and full details, visit www.espnwisconsincontest.com.
Tailgate season, company victory party, don't let your event fall short. V Private Bar Services delivers the winning play with expertise. We're talking custom cocktails, top shelf service, and an atmosphere that'll have your team pumped. Forget the watered down beer and basic mixers. Get the VIP treatment for your corporate events with bartenders who know the perfect pour. V Private Bar Services, where elevated hospitality runs through our veins. Explore vprivatebar.com and leave the mixing to us.
At Citizens Bank, community banking is you, growing your business with a partner who gets it. It's you, buying your first home with a lender who makes it easy. It's you, building a future with savings that work just as hard as you. And it's us, working together to strengthen our community. Because at Citizens Bank, community banking means you plus us. Visit us at citizensbankwi.bank. Citizens Bank is member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
Who's looking for a deal? Well, Cousin Subs has a better deal just for you. Cousin's new $10 meal deals are now available online only. Choose between a 7.5-inch ham and provolone, turkey breast, or veggie sub, a bag of chips or regular fry, a regular fountain beverage, and cookie at cousinsubs.com or on the mobile app for just $10. Now that's a better deal. Cousin Subs, we believe in better. Available at participating locations only. Offer subject to change without notice.
Quality isn't just a promise, it's a process. At Higher Love, they craft with integrity, delivering farm-to-table products you can trust. As the only Clean Green certified organic cultivator in the Upper Peninsula, Higher Love takes pride in growing pure premium products, meaning better quality at better value and a difference you can feel. You can find Higher Love just across the border in Menominee and Ironwood, or at any of their 9 locations throughout the UP. Get more information at findhigherlove.com/CBD. Tune in to KBN every day at 2 o'clock. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Aside from a house or a car specifically, what is the most expensive thing you own? Wendy?
A car.
Name an animal with 3 letters in its name.
Alligator. Name something that's better than being rich.
4. Besides a bird, something in a bird cage.
Hamster.
Something that comes with a summer storm.
Snow.
Something Russia's famous for, Bob.
Russians.
Something a burglar would not want to see when he breaks into a house. Rob.
Naked grandma!
Reason you might stay indoors on a beautiful day.
Because it's raining?
Name something you might buy that could turn out to be phony. Yeah, a horse. Name a time that most people get up.
In the morning.
A time most people go to bed.
At night.
This is the 7 at 11 on Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin.
All right, we found out that the production hasn't been updated in the last 7 years.
Shocking.
You know what? I think this is so classic. It should never be changed. It's so good.
It's long. We know that. It is good. I love it. I love it.
Do you hate your job?
No, I love my job.
Maybe you should act like it then, huh?
You know, I'm not throwing anybody under the bus. I will simply just ask again.
Well, I don't know, Strope, could you work on production for 7-Eleven?
Yes, I could.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. He said this last week and the week before.
No, but you told him not to. You specifically told him not to, Kyle.
Also, the question was not, are you going to? The question was, could you?
There's 2 people as part of this program who are capable of doing the production.
Yes, but when I offered my services as the producer of this program, Craig said, absolutely not. You're hosting this program, so I'm going to act like Kyle Wallace Monday through Friday, 2 to 5.
I wanted you to be the producer. Kyle refused to be a host. Kyle was the one who said he has to produce.
I think we have a lot of great, young, talented individuals around here that this would be a great opportunity that they get to do this.
It is a tradition unlike any other, us arguing as we bring in our mystery guests. We did it last week with Carl Ravitch before you guys defeated me and guessed Carl Ravitch. I believe you had 3 no guesses before you got Ravi. You really did a good job on him. It is time to welcome in our mystery guest, and who is going to ask the first question to our mystery guest this week?
Greg.
Greg's going to kick it off.
Hold on, I just want to point out a tradition unlike any other. Houston Masters Week, maybe.
Oh, like you're saying this,
trying to be
like,
sneaky.
You think this could be? Oh, you think it's Jim Nance? Okay.
If it's Jim Nance, wow, you have a Rolodex.
Oh, I got Jim in my phone. Come on now.
What? Look at the flex.
Go ahead, Greg.
Have you ever resided in the state of Wisconsin?
Yes, sir.
Ooh, they're changing their name.
Yeah.
They're changing their voice.
What's up?
Okay.
Go ahead, follow up. You got a yes. Do another question.
Have you played or coached in a professional sports league?
No, sir.
Okay. Yes, sir. No, sir. Very polite, mystery guest. Good morning to you. Let's go with, do you or have you worked in sports media?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you ever...
let's keep this going here.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of my angle here. Are you currently actively working in sports media?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that voice.
What was the first question you asked him, Greg? Did you ask him
if he has ever resided in Wisconsin? The answer is yes, sir.
Do you currently reside in Wisconsin? C. This voice, it's really throwing me off. Okay.
Are you currently on, have you, or are you currently on the payroll for Good Karma Brands?
No, Poppy.
All
right, that's 2 no's, right? We're at 2 no's?
No, that's the first no.
No, that's the second no. 2 no's.
All right, so somebody in sports media who currently resides in Wisconsin who's never played or coached in professional sports.
Let's figure out sports here, because we're talking about golf. You have Andy North as a potential guy, but we got to figure out.
I don't know if Andy North is getting no Poppy in his bag.
Well,
I mean, maybe we could go. I would lean more towards baseball.
That's kind of what I'm
thinking. Or basketball is the broadcast.
Yeah, let's go with baseball. I like that one.
Go ahead, Greg.
Are you currently a broadcaster of baseball games?
Yes.
Is that yes with a
That
question
was,
mark?
that was
Yes.
no, that was
Did
yes.
I ask that as a
no,
question?
No, that was yes. That was yes.
I mean, we could look at BA or
Levering.
Yeah.
Those would be my two top guesses.
Well, let's
there.
just narrow it down to the Brewers then, right?
How are you currently scheduled to call Brewers games in the 2025 season?
Yes.
Is it radio or television? We got to be very specific. I guess Jeff does TV
Well, they
too.
both do. Well, yes, BA just does TV. I mean, do you just want to guess one or the other? We've got 5 no's.
We
as
got
our cushion
there's
here.
a lot of them.
I feel like
There's not that many people who are scheduled to call Brewers games that live in
You
Wisconsin.
did say call, which I think, okay, so that rules out Stephen Watson, that rules out Craig Koshan, that rules out...
Are you Brian Anderson?
Why, yes, I am.
I mean, Strofe would have talked for another 6 minutes
Yes.
before we got there.
Basketball BA too, eh?
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. This time of year, this guy is as busy as anyone.
And he just used Poppy on ESPN Wisconsin.
Well done.
Yes, from
That was impressive. You guys could be private investigators, man. You asked really good questions.
Yeah. My
I
girlfriend never
appreciate
cheated
that.
I
on
had
me.
a large bonus.
Okay, Brian.
What did you just say?
Craig had a large bonus for me if I could get to the end, but I failed.
I know. I told him. I was
You
like,
should have texted us on the side. We could have split that.
Wait a minute, bonus.
We
He
could
gets a
have
bonus.
split that.
Yeah, I
We
want a
could have
bonus
split
for
that. Now, I
Brian.
want to do this again, and I want to split the bonus from Craig.
I can't imagine you need it with how much you're working, or you either need a new agent. I know your agent, and you either need a new agent or you don't need a bonus. Brian, where have you been in the month of between March and April? Talk about the best moments of your no. Before I do that, I don't even want to put you on that. What I want to do, I was watching the Netflix Starting Five. I know it didn't do that well on Netflix, but did you guys know about this where they followed LeBron and
Yes,
Tatum?
It was
and
like the NBA's version of quarterback, right?
Brian, I mean, this is just all hail Brian Anderson moment. Like, do you sit back now and think about LeBron's record-breaking points, Steph's 3-point, you are now entwined with the great NBA moments, of the last 5-10 years in a way that, I'm sure you thought about other broadcasters. What is that like for you now, knowing that you are part of these unbelievable moments?
Yeah, it's very cool. It's I'm always a little taken aback when I hear that, and when I see these things pop up, and whether it's commercials or a lot of athletes now, they have their own shoe brands, and so they usually do all these different different releases with their brands, Adidas or Nike or whatever. And through the years, they've, for whatever reason, probably because I'm the cheapest option, they've all used my calls on some of these things. But no, it's cool. It's also a little bit sad, because I'm not going to the NBA. I'm not chasing the NBA to another network. I'm staying at TNT Sports. So this is this coming week is my last regular season week of the NBA, and this will be my last NBA playoffs. You never say never, but I've just signed a multi-year deal with TNT to do all the other stuff. So my NBA days are coming to an end after this year, at least in the short term.
So let's go NBA, then we'll get to baseball and Brewers and college basketball also. But so with that, with the NBA, talk about the different people you've been with. So when you think about BA, who do you think about him with? Who do you think about his NBA? Do you think about Stan Van Gundy? Do you think about Steve Smith? Do you think about I
feel like Van Gundy's the one that sticks out the most to me.
BA, who do you think you've done the most? Reggie Miller.
Oh, Reggie.
You've done games with you've done games with everybody. Who do you think who do you think you've done the most games with in your time at TNT?
Yeah, that's a good question. Stan kind of came along a little later, but I would say in the last 4 years it's been mostly Stan, or even going back to the bubble. That's when we first started using Stan. Then he got the New Orleans job, then that lasted a year, and then he came back to us. So Stan has been my main partner, full-time the last 3 years. But our philosophy at TNT anyway, our boss's philosophy is to never brand the groups. It's never been an A, B, or C group. There's always been mix and match. So, my first ever NBA game for TNT was with Reggie Miller. I did a what we call the center court package on NBA TV, which a lot of people didn't see, but I did that for 3 years. That's the package that just got sold to Amazon. But I did all of those games every week with Greg Anthony. So, I did a lot of games with GA.
And was Dennis Scott,
side,
is that also Dennis Scott, like with that crew?
Yeah, he was our reporter. Yep, he was our reporter, and we know that was coming off the players-only era when they didn't use a play-by-play announcer for 1 year. So college game, the guy I've worked more basketball with than anybody is Jim Jackson. We did essentially 8 years together at Big Ten Network, and then we've been doing the NCAA tournament for the last 5 years, 6 years even. So he's the guy I probably worked more basketball with than anybody.
So, B.A., when you get ready for a Steph Curry moment, a LeBron moment, because you think about, basketball players, they grew up in the backyard being like Kobe and shooting it or whatever. Broadcasters, we all did the same thing. All of us are nerds and, would sit in front of the TV calling these games and these dream moments. How do you balance the overthinking the big moment and versus not being prepared enough, right? You want it to be spontaneous, but you want to nail it. How do you think about those moments that are coming and you have to get right?
Yeah, those were that's the way to put the question, really, because you want to be prepared. So I don't can phrases or write out phrases, but you kind of have an idea of the rhythm of where you want to go. And obviously when you're in a record-breaking moment, the number matters. And, the first big moment I ever called was with the Brewers when Trevor Hoffman was the first closer to ever get to 600 saves, a huge milestone, and Mariano would pass him later, but he was the first, Trevor was. So I think, I got good advice from guys like Vin Scully and some of my mentors, Ernie Harwell, who had called a number of those moments. And it was always, be thinking about the order of it and how you want to talk about it, but also leave yourself room to absorb the scene and then call it appropriately. And that really came out in the LeBron record setter, because I had not planned on saying LeBron stands alone, which is what I ended up saying. But because he made the basket and then ran to the other side of the floor and he was literally standing all by himself, then it just hit me to that's just what came out, LeBron stands alone. And I think the Stephen Curry one, we were in New York, we were at Madison Square Garden. I had Reggie Miller on the broadcast. Ray Allen was sitting right next to us the whole game. And it just felt like this, I don't know.
Wait, were you nervous? Were you nervous?
King,
you've done a million games.
Of course.
Were you so you're sitting there nervous?
Oh, 100%, because this call's going to stand for all time. It's just going to be there. And you can really, if you ruin that, you've really ruined yourself. I mean, you've ruined your whole career and all the body of work that I've ever done and all the years. I've done this job for 30 years. And now it's the one thing that really matters. But at the same time, there's a performance art to it. And, you just get embedded in the game and call the game, call the moment, and then lay out. And that's really that's the formula. Call the game, call the moment, lay out.
And so what was the Curry? And so then what was the Curry as you're getting ready and you got that whole moment, Ray Allen and Reggie Miller right there?
Yeah, for me, well, again, I think I ended up saying he's the all-time three-point king, or there's a new three-point king or something like that. But the point of that was if to me it was cumbersome to try to think about saying he's the career three-point made record holder. It's not like all-time scoring champ. That's an easy thing to say, because it was, made three-pointers in a career. That doesn't exactly flow. It's not very poetic. Just the word made, so for me, how could I sum that up? And so I was like, all right, maybe I'll just throw out he's the best three-point shooter or the greatest shooter, or I didn't know. But then, like I said, we knew that was going to come early because he only needed 2 when the game started, and he made the first one right away. And so we knew we were kind of there. And so it felt right to go with a monarchy, just because we had, King Reggie and King Ray, and then we had, I just figured King, the 3-point King kind of sums it up, and then I did a little more after, more explanation. I hit the number. The number was cumbersome too. It was like 29-37, or, it just doesn't roll off the tongue like Trevor Hoffman's 600 save. That's an easy thing, and you can punch that, but to get you into the weeds on mechanics and, verbiage and how to deliver words with some poetry in it, but also not just bombard it with language. So that's what you think about. Then I kind of left myself some freedom to say whatever came to my mind in that moment. So, but I didn't want to can it, because every time I've ever written down a phrase, or some guys are great at it. I mean, Jim Nantz has made a living at that, and he's had some incredibly memorable lines, but I've usually blown those, or I'm looking down and I miss something in front of me that's important. So I just kind of keep my eyes on the subjects and go from there. And I've only had a handful, so it's not like I think I've had 3 major milestones, like that in my career. I did talk to Zora Stevenson quite a bit, though. She was great when she was on the Caitlin Clark record-setting moment. So we spent a lot of time talking about it, and everything I'm telling you is what I was telling her, and she was really wanting to write down, because the pressure of delivering that and not screwing that up, and that would have been fine, but I think she did a great job with that because she just kind of lived in it, and she even used one of the phrases that I use a lot, but especially in that scenario, and that's "there it is." Like, you just punch the actual moment when it happens with a "there it is." And so that's an old school broadcaster, radio, back into the radio days. There it is.
There could be a big one today in New York.
Which I loved.
Could be a big one today in New York with Alex Ovechkin going to break Wayne Gretzky's all-time goal record.
Yeah. Yep. Yes. So, and I've seen a bunch of social media bits, TikTok bits about, like, the record-setting moments that have happened in different sports. And so it's been kind of cool to relive the 2 that I had, and then now Ovechkin. And I'm sure those announcers who are working on that are going through the same process. I thought I don't know where it came from. I'm thinking it was the home radio call or the home television call, but wherever that call came from of the tying goal, I thought was brilliant. It was just really, excitable and just hit all the right notes, and he raised his voice up over the crowd, and then he laid out, and I thought it was like picture perfect. So, yeah, I love that.
So, BA, between basketball, both NBA and college, golf and baseball, we could have you on for the next 5 hours and not run out of things. But I just want to ask you one.
Tennis too. We got tennis coming up. Roland Garros.
Coming to Turner Sports. Yeah. But last question for you, because I think it's one that I think everyone listening and watching would be interested in. Why have you stayed in Wisconsin? Like, you got the Brewers gig.
Man, easy.
You got the Brewers gig at such a different point of your career arc.
You're 19, yeah.
And you've become a national broadcaster. You could be anywhere. You still choose to do as many Brewers games as humanly possible, and you still choose to live in Wisconsin. You're not from here. You didn't go to school here. You didn't grow up as a fan here. Why Wisconsin for you?
It's the same reason for you, because I love it here, and I'm not from here, so it was very new to me when I moved here, and it was hard. The first winter I was here, it snowed 96 inches that winter, and I was like, we live in the Discovery. It felt like the Discovery Channel outside. Like, we're literally going to die. I never grew up in snow. I didn't know anything about it. But no, we just, I could go on for hours about all the things I love about it. I love right at this moment, I'm standing outside the production truck. The sun is out. We've got baseball. We've got our crew that I love and are so talented. When I moved here, I was told, like, that Milwaukee TV production crew, you're going to be amazed how gifted they are. And a lot of them are all doing national games. We're doing national games in the NFL and MLB and NBA long before I got here. So there's great talent here. There's great skill. It's a small community. I like the access to be able to move around a little bit. I've never been a big city person. I grew up in a small town in Texas. of about 10,000 people, Georgetown, Texas. So I like the calmness. I like nature, outdoors, all of it. I mean, I could just, we would never leave. And what I say all the time, and I mean it, if I didn't work for the Brewers and they told me to hit the road, I would still live here. And so it doesn't matter that I work here anymore. I would always live here. I would always live in Wisconsin, top 5 summer city. I don't mind the winters at all. My daughter grew up here. She lives here. She'd never leave here. She's got a great job and basically demanded that she get to work from home from the 3rd Ward, or she wasn't taking the job. So, you know, all of that. And
Love
I could
that
keep
energy.
going, but we love it, man. We love Wisconsin, and it's home. It'll always be home.
I love when you drop that nationally. When you, we've heard you do it when you say top 5 national summer city, Milwaukee. We've heard you do that, and we are so lucky to have you in this community and as a friend and as a mystery guest with us today. Brian Anderson will be on the call today as the Brewers go for 3 out of 4 against the Reds. And we have enough healthy pitchers? Think we can get through 9 today, VA?
No, actually, you want some breaking news? I'll give it to you. Nestor Cortez is going on the injured list, so we're actually getting less healthy by the day. But we are getting Quintana back, and I will not be back with the Brewers until mid-June, so I apologize for not being around much, but I'll be watching, and hopefully we can survive all these injuries. And, the Brewers are in an unbelievable spot right now with injuries. It's shocking, but, you know, they have a lot of depth, and we'll see who emerges from the ashes. If we can survive this first month and get some of these guys back, they got a chance to be really good this year.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll be watching and listening. Brian Anderson, appreciate you joining us.
Thanks, B.A.
Good to be with you. That was a good game. I didn't do very well for you.
Next time, text us on the
try
side.
again next time.
We'll split that bonus.
Guys, have a great Sunday.
All right. Take care. Brian Anderson. Like, how lucky are we, right? Like, that he's here.
Great. It's amazing. It's amazing. Yes.
Yeah, amazing. All right, we got a whole lot more to get to as we roll on. It's Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin.
It's Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so that you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
Coming up live on Tuesday, a special edition of On the Tee. They're letting us go for 2 hours talking about the year's first major down at Augusta. Join me, Gabe Neitzel, and PGA Tour Live's Stephen Watson as we have our picks to click. Our favorite things, the traditions of Augusta. Plus, we are going to be joined by a couple of kids from Wisconsin who are participating in the drive, chip, and putt contest. Special edition of On the Tee, 2 hours starting at noon on Tuesday, right here, 94.5 ESPN.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Save big money on your next staining project right now at Menards. Pittsburgh's ultra-advanced semi-transparent exterior stain and sealant in one can be applied on damp wood, allowing you to clean the surface and stain in one day. Save big on ultra-advanced exterior stain and sealant. And don't forget to check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Slide into your neighborhood Century Food store to score the freshest produce, tastiest treats, and everything in between. Now through Wednesday, save on 48-ounce selected varieties Stone Ridge ice cream, 2 for $7. 18 to 24.6-ounce selected varieties Vandecamp's fish, $4.49. 4.5 to 5.3-ounce selected varieties Dan and Greek yogurt, 5 for $5. 9.5 to 10.75-ounce selected varieties Hostess mini donuts, 2 for $4.
Let's get some strawberries.
Attention shoppers. Safe.
Okay. Ooh, pineapple fulfills every need.
While you're shopping, a drive way back, it's a gunner.
There's something goofy going on with the PA.
Need a price check and I'll take me out to the ball game.
See, what is going on?
You're hearing things. We're at Century Foods, and you can't take your mind off winning that ultimate baseball fan sweepstakes.
I'm hoping to throw out the first pitch at a Milwaukee baseball game.
Or attend batting practice.
Or hold the finish line ribbon for the racing sausages.
You don't say.
The ultimate baseball fan sweepstakes at Century Foods. Enter on Century's Facebook or Instagram by July 30th.
Whether you're a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you're planning to visit Milwaukee, enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel, conveniently located in the heart of downtown Milwaukee's Theater District. With deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site art galleries, and nightly live music, you'll enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate. For a limited time, enjoy exclusive seasonal rates starting at $139. Learn more and book your stay at stkatearts.com.
Drum roll, please.
Carbliss is here with refreshing new flavors. Introducing their Tropical Bliss Variety Pack. Let the summertime flavors of blood orange, watermelon, raspberry, and grapefruit whisk you away from the winter blues. New flavors, same great Carbliss perks. Every handcrafted cocktail still has 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and just 100 calories. Find the Tropical Bliss Variety Pack in store wherever Carbliss is sold and enjoy your winter passport to paradise. Grab a pack today and discover why Bliss is more with Carbliss.
A Brewers group outing is the best way to celebrate any special occasion. Whether it's a birthday party, anniversary, or bachelor party, baseball is better with a group. Grab your crew of just 15 or more for an event you won't forget. Brewers account reps make your day at the ballpark a breeze. Plus, get set up with customizable tailgate spaces, seating blocks in your favorite location at American Family Field, and much more. Start planning your group outing now at brewers.com/groups.
This is Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
So no Nestor Cortez either now after he pitches, just a huge bounce back game, right? After the worst debut in the history of sports.
It was up there. It was ugly. But hey, nice bounce back, and
they just need to get to that 500 mark through the first month or so. Strofe, by the way, very professional. Mid-sentence just gets distracted by somebody walking by.
For the second time.
It's my buddy Colin.
For the second time in 8 minutes.
On the air. You're talking to us.
And you were flexing it. Did you know the person you were flexing at last segment?
Well, I was confused, and that was not last segment. That was an hour ago.
Okay. Well, it could have been last segment if it was now.
I think our segments have gone.
You saw what was happening 3 segments ago.
No.
It was incredibly distracting.
What? I didn't see it.
Me and Greg should probably trade seats. That'd probably be a wise decision with my ADHD.
She seemed a little different.
This is very like that. This is where I say you're a cousin of Ben Bross, because Ben also would get so incredibly distracted by things like that are happening. But yeah, I think if this Brewers team can, for a month, get to that 500 mark and just survive, it's just tread water at this point.
Dude, I don't think that's a realistic goal.
To get to 500.
No.
They were just 500.
We're 4-5 now.
And by the way, they'd played the Yankees, who are one of the best teams in baseball.
Yeah.
I don't know, just are there enough pitch? How can you expect to be at 500 with the pitching staff? That just seems unrealistic.
Right? Magic. They need to get this Elvin Rodriguez, send him back.
But I'm saying
they don't have the luxury to do that.
Send him back.
They don't have the luxury to do that.
No, but the thing is
a bum.
But let's not have personal attacks here.
He's a bum at pitching. He's a great guy.
Okay, all right, there we go.
Nice recovery.
There we go.
Well, yeah,
but I'm saying, but last night it was clear that he didn't have it, but they also needed him to get through a certain amount of innings. And then they bring in a reliever who may not totally have it either, but they need him to get through a certain amount of innings. Like, I think that's the situation the Brewers are in. That's why I don't think, 500 is realistic. Now, I do worry about the Cubs because they started with the Dodgers, and they're still 7-4.
Sure.
So
but until
I worry about them running away and hiding a little bit.
Until you get to that Cubs series in the first week of May, you're finishing your series against the Reds. Then you play the Rockies. Diamondbacks are good on the road. That's a tough series. You're back home against the Tigers, against the A's. Then you're on the road against the Giants, who are okay. And then on the road against the Cardinals. And then you get the White Sox. That's not a difficult schedule. Chourio hasn't... Weird stat, 41 at-bats, I think, hasn't had a walk yet this year. So, he's still kind of feeling like...
Contreras hasn't hit it all.
Contreras hasn't hit it all. Yelich hasn't hit it all.
Yep.
Hoskins hasn't hit it all. So, it's not like you've been getting this great play from the rest of your team.
It actually makes no sense that they've won games to this point. When you look at the stats...
When they've lost so incredibly bad.
Yeah, four of their 5 losses, they've allowed double-digit runs.
They have the worst run differential in the major leagues.
by far.
But they're 4-5. At one point, they were 500 and had the worst run differential
they can
last
just
night.
Keep that up. Or it doesn't matter how bad you play in your losses. Just get some
tread
wins.
water, baby.
All right, you may have me convinced that the schedule, but going into Arizona, I feel like they give up 40 runs in those 3 games against Arizona.
They certainly might.
It's very possible.
And that's not even talking about going into Colorado, where theoretically you're supposed to give up a lot of runs.
Stay close to 500. You know what I mean? At this point,
We can
and then
hit
start to get the pitchers
sometime.
back and. They still do, to BA's point that he made, I don't know how long ago that was, but they still do have a very talented team. They just got to, stay in it.
No, I feel great about this team if their pitching staff had half of the guys injured that are hurt right now. Because you're right. No one's hit.
Yeah,
no one's hit.
I don't know that you can conjure the magic in a bottle you had last year, right? You had, 19 different starting pitchers last year, but you didn't start where you're starting this year with a million guys on the injury list. Get through April. And like you said, Greg, if you're 4 games under 500, 5 games under 500, I still feel really good about your chances because this division isn't that great. You worry about Chicago, but
that's the only team I'm worried about right now.
Correct. But you do worry about them.
Yeah.
You do worry about them.
Yes.
Yeah, they've got a pretty good manager.
One thing you don't have to worry about is if you make one call, that's all to Gruber Law Offices. Everything else is taken care of. That's right. It doesn't mean it's over. It doesn't mean they're taking the short road. It means they have the experience. They've worked with tens of thousands of Wisconsinites. That's right. Just based here in Wisconsin, but nationally recognized, involved in all the community things that you care about, involved in events, rooting for the same teams as you, but most importantly, helping Wisconsin people when they're injured. So if you or a loved one is ever injured, remember, it's one call. That's all with Gruber Law Offices. More as we continue at Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin.
This is Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Nestled along the shores of Lake Michigan, the Knickerbocker Hotel offers a timeless escape in the heart of Milwaukee. Immerse yourself in the rich history of this iconic landmark where charm meets modern luxury. Picture yourself enjoying breathtaking lake views, luxurious rooms, and dining at one of the finest restaurants in the city. Whether you're visiting for a weekend getaway or a special occasion, the Knickerbocker promises an unforgettable experience. Your perfect stay awaits at the Knickerbocker Hotel. For more information and to book your next stay, visit knickerbockerontheLake.com.
There's a winning magic powering up at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. This April, prepare for an exciting quest to $300,000 in the Enchanted Spin Slot Tournament. Just conjure your rewards card and play slots to earn drawing entries. Each Thursday, 60 winners will compete for thousands in cash and prizes. Let your journey begin with Enchanted Spins, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Let's talk about home turf. Your lawn is a reflection of your pride, hard work, and even competitive spirit. If you want a yard that makes the neighbors stop and stare, you need the right plan. That's where Weedman Lawn Care comes in. Weedman's lawn care program is kid and pet friendly, uses golf course quality fertilizer, and has an effective weed treatment to dominate any issue. Get a free quote of Weedman's winning formula for your yard at weedman.com and get 50% off your first treatment. That's weedman.com. Weedman for the win.
At Citizens Bank, community banking is you, growing your business with a partner who gets it. It's you, buying your first home with a lender who makes it easy. It's you, building a future with savings that work just as hard as you. And it's us, working together to strengthen our community. Because at Citizens Bank, community banking means you plus us. Visit us at citizensbankwi.bank. Citizens Bank is member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
No shortcuts, no compromises, just the job done right. At Exterior Pros, we don't just meet expectations, we crush them. Every nail, every window, every shingle is a step toward your home's next chapter. From the moment we start until that final reveal, we're committed to making your home better than ever. Quality products and craftsmanship you can count on. Go to the pros for your next project. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274.
Wisconsin is still cattle country, and that's why Bunzel's chose to stay close to home to hand select the finest beef. Quality goes into everything they do, from Bunzel's expansive array of meats, homemade specialty sausages, and their award-winning beef jerky. It just isn't a proper holiday meal without Bunzel's top quality cuts on the dinner table. Tasting is believing. Visit Bunzel's at 90th and Burleigh or bunzels.com.
Fisco is always there for your auto body care. When accidents happen, Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin is there when you need them. Got a broken mirror? They'll take care of it. Dented bumper? Scratch paint? Fisco Auto Body will take care of it. If there's any damage you need fixed, Fisco has you covered. Their expert workmanship is guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. So stop in for all of your auto bumps and dings. Once again, you know the line. That's Fisco.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we believe in making the most of what you love, making sure your money is as well spent as your time. So as you start your spring projects, we have the value you need to make them your own. Right now, Rewards members get a free $10 gift card with an $80 estate fertilizer purchase, 7-pound bags of Blaine's brand Cardinal Songbird food, 2 for $12, plus select Diamond Crystal softener salt, $7.50 for Rewards members. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Being original.
'Cause I'm in the stars tonight. So watch me bring the fire and set the night light. Shoes on.
This is Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Sing song when I'm walking home. Jump up to the top of LeBron. Ding dong, call me on my phone. Nice tea and I'll get my ping pong.
All right, we have not talked about the Milwaukee Bucks coming off a great win last night against the Miami Heat. Not an easy win. No Tyler Hero or Wiggins for the Heat last night. Bucks without Dame Lillard, Jericho Sims, Bobby Portis.
He come back.
Bobby back Tuesday, baby.
Hey, fresh.
Gonna be big.
The fact that this team survived Bobby being out in the way it did. Oh, you're making a face at me, Kyle.
The way a team survived without Bobby, I mean, they should be able to survive without Bobby.
But then Jericho's out also. So literally, when you have 2 total bigs, now you could say we have 4 bigs, right? Because the starting lineup is like a point guard and like Kuzma, Taurean Prince are like, I could be power forwards in this league. Right?
Legit, yeah.
I mean, Bobby's also a 6th man of the year candidate, like perennially. It's not like he is. You could be critical of him however you want.
I love Bobby.
General,
here we go again.
Value.
Wait. I'm a Bobby guy. I've been a Bobby guy before. When I wanted the Bucks to draft Bobby Portis when they drafted Rashad Vaughn. So let's not get it twisted.
You sound like you're a Bobby guy.
You are the king of taking a shot at somebody and then following it up with,
I didn't take a shot at Bobby. But Bobby Portis, we're talking about, this team was able to stay afloat without Bobby Portis. The hell?
In the context of everybody else,
correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bobby Portis is not the guy I want to come back. I want him to come back, but I want Dame to come back.
Course.
Bobby doesn't make you say, we're a championship team. No, Dame makes you
I think
say,
he helps.
You're talking about Bobby Portis like he's Elvin Rodriguez over there.
No, Bobby's more important than that guy.
So what do you think? Who'd you rather play? It doesn't look like the Bucks are getting into the
Top
the
3,
4
no.
seed.
Whoa,
Probably
you don't think they can get to the 4 seed at all?
I mean, the Pacers would have to lose 3. The Pacers would have to lose 3 games.
How many games do they have left? Like 6?
They have 4.
That's it?
Yeah.
How many games do the Bucks have left?
The Bucks have the extra game because of the Pelicans. Remember when that happened? That whole deal.
Snowstorm in New Orleans.
Yeah. So So the Bucks at 43 and 34 have 5 games left. The Pacers at 46 and 31.
The Bucks play that Pelicans.
Wait, that would be 5 games left too. Yeah.
And the Bucks play that Pelicans game today on the back end of a back-to-back.
Oh, wait, breaking news. I was missing the Pacers-Nuggets game today. So if the Pacers lose to the Nuggets today, then they lose both games to the Cavs. They have 1 at home, 1 on the road, assuming they beat the Magic at home, beat the Wizards. So then
Magic are playing for something, though.
Yeah, but you got, let's play that out. So, all right, so now the Bucks would need to win out the rest of the way. So how do we feel about the Bucks winning out? Home Timberwolves, home Pelicans, at Pistons, home Pistons.
The Pistons one is huge because you're actually competing with the Pistons for being a 5 or 6 seed. So the Bucks actually have a shot here because Giannis is going to leave everything out on the court, and these are winnable. New Orleans.
But the question is, do you want to leave it all out on the court to get to the 5, or would you do you want to play the Pacers or do you want to play the Knicks?
Well, I guess you want to be. I wanted us to have home court advantage at least in round 1.
But that is only if the Pacers lose. I mean, you really want to have Giannis
out for the possibility of getting home court, you know? And even today, they were in Miami last night in an overtime game, and then they fly to New Orleans today. How much do you want Giannis to, try to put up another 40 minutes?
You don't want the 6 seed. You don't. You don't want the Knicks.
So you don't want the Knicks and the Celtics? You're saying you want to stay out of that side?
I would agree. I would rather be.
I'm also a revenge guy. Give me some revenge against the Pacers in the first round.
But you don't have Dame, which makes it
right now without Dame. I think you could make the argument that this is more of a defensive team than an offensive team if you're going to win in the playoffs, and that would tell you might want to play against the Knicks and the Celtics. If you're more of an offensive team with Dame back, I could see you wanting to play against the Pacers and the Cavs.
If just get Giannis healthy for a playoff series. If Giannis is healthy for the first round playoff series, I think they could beat the Pacers or the Knicks.
Somebody needs to step up in the absence of Dame.
Sure, Bobby Portis is coming back,
okay.
And we just heard Doc Rivers give some optimistic thoughts on Dame.
And if you can win that first round playoff series with Giannis being Giannis, then Dame can come back in that second round. I mean, that's what you have to bank on.
And the Celtics are a better team now than at that time, but let's not forget 2022 without Chris Middleton, Bucks up 10 going into the fourth quarter at home, game 6.
Yeah, the Celtics team's a lot better.
Yes, the Celtics team's a lot better. But I'm saying Giannis, just to your point, Greg, of when you have the best player on the court, which the Bucks will have in any postseason series when Giannis is healthy.
Correct.
It is very different. It is very different. All right, we will have your Palermo's picks as we continue. It's Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin.
This is Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Escape the city and relax at Lake Lawn Resort in beautiful Delavan, Wisconsin. Enjoy outdoor activities on Delavan Lake. Tee off at the lakeside Majestic Oaks Golf Course or unwind at the award-winning Calidora Spa. With both indoor and outdoor pools, there's fun for the whole family. Take a cruise on the Lake Lawn Queen. Explore stunning shores and historic landmarks and enjoy delicious food and drinks on board. Book your stay today at lakelawnresort.com, where everything is better at the lake.
Oh my gosh, Allie, did you look at Janet's roof? Ugh, it's so flat. It looks like one of those roofing contractor commercials. Who even understands those roofing guys anyways?
I like flat roofs and I cannot lie. You other contractors can't deny. TPO way up high. I'm hooked and I can't stop staring.
If you want a roof that's worth staring at, Avondale Roofing is where you go. Your roofing experts for over 30 years. AvondaleRoofing.com.
True Chicago-style pizza is thin, crispy, and cut into squares. And thanks to Connie's Frozen Pizza, you can enjoy a true slice of the city. You'll enjoy it so much you won't even mind where it comes from. Connie's Frozen Pizzas are made from the same cornmeal crust Connie's has been serving for over 60 years. They're perfectly cheesy, perfectly saucy, and they're exactly what you crave. Get to know the true Chicago style with Connie's Frozen Pizza. Born in Chicago, loved by cheeseheads. Available in a freezer aisle near you.
Hey, it's Brad Nortman, and I've got to tell you about my go-to car wash, Tsunami Express. Get your ride looking its best and ride the wave at Tsunami Express Car Wash, Milwaukee's fan favorite for that perfect shine. Sign up for a monthly membership and enjoy unlimited washes for less than $1 a day. Skip the wait with the fast lane and take advantage of great perks. With locations in Midtown Milwaukee, Waukesha, Greenfield, Oak Creek, and Mount Pleasant, Tsunami Express has you covered. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. Visit TsunamiExpress.com to learn more.
Why is life better with American Family Insurance? Because every policy comes with something very special. A trusted agent who's there to help protect your dreams by finding the right coverage at the right price. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Football fans, Verizon is giving you the chance to win the ultimate draft experience with the Road to the Draft sweepstakes. 10 lucky winners will win tickets to the first day of the 2025 draft in Green Bay, including round-trip car service from Milwaukee, hotel accommodations, plus access to the Verizon viewing zone. Don't miss your chance to win the ultimate draft experience powered by Verizon. Hurry to select Wisconsin Verizon locations to enter by April 13th. No purchase necessary to enter. Must be legal U.S. resident of Wisconsin or Illinois, age 21 years or older to enter. Void where prohibited. For official rules and full details, visit www.espnwisconsincontest.com.
It's that time.
Yes, it's finally here.
Craig makes his picks of the week.
You can bet the house on it.
Picks of the week on Sunday Karma with Craig Karmazin. Presented by Palermo's Pizza, Wisconsin's hometown pizza.
Can't wait to see what happens next.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Do you think it's odd that the women's championship is on at the time it's on? Do you know what time it's on, everybody?
The 2 o'clock afternoon Sunday start?
Yeah, 2 o'clock on ABC, ESPN, ESPN Plus.
They want to avoid 90 Day Fiance. That's a big-time show.
Is it? You're the worst. I thought we were going to finally get through one show without you mentioning that trash television show. Is it bad I kind of love the 2 o'clock start?
I don't think it's bad. I do think it is interesting that
I also don't have kids and responsibilities, so.
No, I mean, I think 2 o'clock is cool also if you're trying to get kids, right?
For
Like,
sure.
why does everything have to be so late at night? Like, Greg could sit down with his daughter today and watch that game at 2 o'clock.
Well, and especially for the East Coast, like having grown up there, as you did, Craig, there'd be a lot of championship games that would be on until 11 o'clock.
Yeah. I mean, by the way, speaking of Palermo's, nothing but the toppings is a worthwhile consideration. If you don't always want the bread and carbs of pizza, Screamin' Sicilian. Have you guys tried this? The nothing but toppings?
Yeah, I have. The bowls?
Yeah, the bowls. You throw them in the microwave. They're so easy to eat. It's all the toppings. It's delicious. And it's usually 20 grams of protein or more. These things are amazing. Palermo's Pizza, nothing but the toppings. And Palermo's Pizza, wonderful to have a Wisconsin brand that is employing so many people and providing so much deliciousness.
I'm big on the Detroit style
Me
lately,
too.
which is a lot of crust, but I'm a crust guy.
I'm also a crust guy. It's very good.
I'm going the opposite. I'm going nothing but the toppings today.
I got two
Get your
urban
protein,
pie
Craig.
slices waiting for me when I get home. Put them in the air fryer to reheat.
Oh, Kyle trying to get his urban credibility. Just so you know, urban pie is not like necessarily urban credibility, Kyle. Just because I don't know what the Jamie Foxx show was.
At least you knew what Air Force Ones was, unlike Alex Trophy.
He grew up in Denmark.
What size shoe did Murphy Lee wear? It's a lyric in the song.
I don't know.
10 and a half.
Well done.
10 and a half. There it is.
That's just the average shoe size for most guys.
That's what I wear.
All right. Any other picks? I got UConn today by double digits. I love my Dawn Staley, but I feel like UConn's not getting stopped.
I've got the favorites in both. UConn and tomorrow night.
Oh, I will take Houston. I
You liked them after that momentum shifter last night.
I don't know how you lose the national championship after what they just did in the Final Four.
I think Florida's that good, Greg.
I think Walter
thought
Clayton
Duke was the
Jr.
best
is
team
that
in the
good.
country.
If it's a close game, I've seen Walter Clayton Jr. be this version of Steph Curry, in the NCAA tournament.
I'll take the dogs in Houston.
Yeah,
What about today?
I've seen Houston
I like
suffocate.
UConn. I don't think they cover the 7.5 though.
That's
That's
a big
almost
spread
disrespectful.
to Dawn Staley
It is
and company.
disrespectful,
Yeah.
but I feel like they're going to win by double digits. I don't feel like this South Carolina. I feel like Dawn Staley has done an incredible job to get this South Carolina team back to the championship game.
Agreed.
If South Carolina wins today, I'd beat Craig's bracket by 10 points because I have South Carolina winning it all in my
That
bracket.
means
but
nothing.
I'm
You don't
not
win
feeling
money.
it.
Do you win money for beating Craig?
Yes, you're eligible.
You're eligible to win money.
Yeah, if you beat me.
Thanks for reading your email.
I saw something. My bracket was trash. I just hurry up and filled it
I
out.
saw something.
beat
You didn't even
if
read
you-
the email.
I read it. I thought a ban. I thought it was a win. You're giving out anybody that beats you gets money.
Everyone who beats me in the bracket's eligible to win, which
What
most
place
people
are you
did
in?
in the men's. If UConn wins, I think I'll be top 10.
Oh, you know, I didn't even. I ran out of time to do the women's. The game started.
ran out of time.
Wow.
Yeah, I do
That
it.
is
Unbelievable.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You guys have time at work to do that.
Nobody makes
Well,
more
why-
excuses
why-
about everyday
why did it
life
have
than
to be
Kyle
at work?
Wallace.
Because when I get home, that's home time. It was a work thing.
Aren't you a sports fan?
I am a sports guy.
Okay, then it doesn't have to be at work.
The game. I was looking and it was like, oh no, the game started like 10:30.
Oh, did you fill out a men's bracket?
It's so easy on ESPN now. If you fill out one bracket or a women's bracket, then you just join the group.
find it relatively interesting. You
I
filled out a men's bracket, but not a women's bracket.
And by the way, you have an extra day, and you have a whole extra day to do the women's bracket.
What does that say about Kyle Wallace?
It says Kyle Wallace a hard-working ass man. That's what it says. Craig, you better check the productivity around that office, filling out all these brackets they're doing.
Yeah, stay healthy, stay together, survive today, thrive tomorrow. Don't settle. You have been listening to Sunday Karma, ESPN Wisconsin. Kyle, send us out.
Peace.
This is ESPN Wisconsin and ESPNWisconsin.com.
Are you dreaming about summer in your backyard yet?